it's wonderful feeling to have the virality, get the views, but at the same time, it's important to know why did it get so many views, and then take the essence of that and not think that, yay, I've made it, because unfortunately, viral videos, as it's proven for me, doesn't always equate to a return on your investment and on your time, but it's the top of the funnel. You got eyeballs. Now, what do you do with it? Because we've seen it that people have millions of followers, but they don't have the community that will carry you throughout the years. So it's nice to have, but it's not the end all and be all. And you have to know how to use that information.
There's a big problem I'm seeing in the creator space, and this is a problem that's always been here, but I think it's becoming more and more prominent. It's the problem of large numbers. You feel like you need large numbers to succeed. And of course, all of these platforms are built so that we have more followers, more subscribers, more engagement. That, of course, helps the algorithm. And that's what we see as success. The bigger the numbers, the more successful we are. But that's actually not true. What if I told you actual success wasn't about the size of your following, but rather the loyalty within that following that you have? And I think inherently we all know that's the case, but we still get jaded and faded over the numbers. Well, I have an incredible success story to share with you today. Mariane Cresp, who is a organizer, a planner, who uses social media. She doesn't have a giant following. She goes live. She just does these things that has built an incredible fan base. She has super fans lining up for her products, her PDF little organizer inserts, and she's built an entire business around it. And I'm happy to share Mariane and her story with you today. And we get right into it, the tips and the strategies to help you grow and not have to worry about growing to millions. But what if you just had those 1,000 true fans? That's what this is about. And here's Mariane Cresp. Mariane, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much for having me. Really, really honored and appreciate you spending time with me today.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm excited to dive into your story. I know you are in Australia and you are doing some amazing things on Instagram. You've recently started a podcast. What is most exciting to you today? What's got your energy flowing these days?
I think what's exciting for me is building my community. I shouldn't really say I've been dabbling in content creation because I have been doing it for a few years, but I think 2026 is building that relationship that I have created for the last couple of years and knowing the impact I have. In my head, I still think I'm, small and little content creator, but when you get comments saying, this is what I needed to hear today, thank you so much, and knowing my audience is similar to my, own journey, knowing that you've been heard and you've been seen and that you're turning up and showing up is enough. That's what I'm excited about. And so I'm nurturing a nice little community that I hope will become a bigger community.
Oh, I love that. Before we get into your origin story, which I'm curious about, I want to continue off of what you just said. So 2026 being about community. You've been on Instagram since 2012, I see. You've been in the game for a while as a creator, but what is now different to you when you create, when you think about the community? What's different than before?
I think what it is through the years where I've shown up, through the challenges that happened as a content creator, as well as a mom, a wife. I have 2 boys. The younger one, 17-year-old, is on the autism spectrum. So trying to juggle all of that, what I've found is by showing up, I'm learning lots of new things along the way. And so I have data now. And so which means I can go back and have a look through my own experience of they're not really failures, are they? Because I can learn from them. And so what's worked, what hasn't worked. And so now I can actually go, okay, I tried that. That didn't work. And so let's go and focus on this side of things where I am gathering those views, those engagement. So even though I've been doing it for a couple of years, it is only now, and I think the opportunity is there for me to really grab it and run with it and see, and I'm excited to see where it'll take me. So through my own learning along the way, I'm discovering that I do have the tenacity to make a big go of this, even through the challenges that one faces as a content creator.
I love that you said that. I think that's a really important lesson for everybody listening, especially those who have recently participated in the 30-day video challenge. It's their first time kind of being consistent, and they're not a lot of people aren't really seeing explosive views. I mean, there's some people who are, but others will have to realize that over time you build this, like you said, a data set of what works and what doesn't. And, certain videos all of a sudden start to grasp attention. Do you have any recollection of videos that during your journey just like exploded? And when you analyze them, what do you decipher from that?
So I have had a few viral for me reels on Instagram, as well as a few videos on demands on YouTube. Again, viral for me. What I've seen from those and what I've learned from those is it's wonderful feeling to have the virality, get the views, but at the same time, it's important to know why did it get so many views, and then take the essence of that and not think that, yay, I've made it, because unfortunately viral videos, as it's proven for me, doesn't always equate to a return on your investment and on your time. But for those ones that I've seen that have come through for me, it's the top of the funnel for me. So it's not the thing that might nurture your audience or convert your audience, if and those of us who have products or services that sell, but have a look at those and take that for what it is you got eyeballs. Now, what do you do with it? So don't just sit on there and go, hooray, I've made it, I'm viral. So, because I know a lot of content creators want the million views or the thousands and hundreds of thousands of views, but it's what you do with it that's really important, because we've seen it that people have millions of followers, but they don't have the community that will, as you say, your true fans that will carry you throughout the years, that will be there, who are hanging on. What are you offering next, Mariane? Where are you going to be next? I'll be there. So it's nice to have, but it's not the end all and be all. And for me, as you said, I've been doing your 30-day short form video challenge. And for me, it's a little bit outside of what I show on my platforms that I'm on. So it's skipping 100 skips a day. So they are not getting the thousands of views. However, the people that are watching are becoming true fans, because then I'm inspiring them. I'm seeing that it is doable, whatever their goals are, and then they can replace the skipping with movement or being consistent with their journaling or meditating or whatever wellness and self-care that they have the goals for 2026, a lot of us, New Year's resolutions. So
Yeah.
it is wonderful to have, but you have to know how to use that information.
I think this is such an important lesson because most of us get so jaded by the bigger numbers, and that's kind of what we want. We see other people do it, and we get jealous very easily. But I would much rather have 1,000 true fans than tens of millions of people who find a video, then leave and never come back. And this is where we see the example of the creator who has, like you said, millions of followers, and they can't even sell a t-shirt. They sell like 30 of them, and then they're upset and they're like, why did this happen? Versus the other creator who has just hundreds of followers who are doing extremely well because each of those followers care and they're super fans and they are dedicated and they are providing feedback. They're in the community, like you said. And I love that even though your skipping videos that you're doing for your challenge aren't getting the views, it's getting the relationship stronger between you and your audience. And that's really what really matters in the end. And I think that's a huge lesson. I also love how you're already using a lot of business talk here, and I want to dive into that even more. You had mentioned top of funnel, which is what social media is great for, but tell me about your middle of funnel and bottom of funnel. What is that journey like ideally for somebody who finds you initially on social media?
So I use Instagram. Well, I went on Instagram and YouTube, I think at the same time, just showcasing. I actually didn't start my content creation journey or entrepreneurship journey as a business. It was just really showcasing my planners, my planning system as a homeschooling mom, managing the household. And so I already started somewhere where I enjoyed the process. So we always talk about, make sure you have the passion for what you're doing or creating, because there's going to be middle boring bits that you go, oh, I have to create another content. I have to, study my analytics. And they're not the sexiest of things to do, but it's part of the process. So start with something that you're already going to enjoy, even if no one is watching. And sometimes no one does when you post something and you get the 0 views or, 7 views. So Instagram is where aesthetically pleasing flat lays on my planner spread, my desk, the beautifully embellished planner pages and the stationery I use. They're the eye candy. So that's my top of the funnel. People go on there. Now, people can go on there and then follow you, and then that's it. That's as far as they go. But then it's important that the next set of content that I make is nurturing. How do I use what I have brought you in with, the eye candy? How do I use that in my real life that will relate to you? Because we always talk about what's in it for them, what's in it for our viewer, what's in it for our customer. I don't care that you plan, Marianne. What value do I get out of it? And so the nurture part of the funnel, so as we go down, is giving them those tips, those values, things that can walk away with now and not feel like, oh, I can only get value from her when I buy something or I sign up for something. So they stay for those. And then I convert them, make sure that I'm giving my freebies, my lead magnet, get their email. So everyone talks about making sure you get started on your email list so you can take them off the rented space of Instagram and YouTube, because we don't own our viewers' email list. And then that's where I, again, further the relationship. I show up, every week, most weeks. Sometimes we're humans, we miss weeks, sometimes here and there. And then that's when I talk further of, hey, if you're enjoying what I do, I also have this. And did you know about this? And then tell them as well where I'm going to be at. And so it's like an invitation to, you've signed up, which means, you're interested in what I'm talking about. And so then that's where the conversion happens along the way. But it's not just, you'll get your one-offs, but it's the building of the relationship and to be trusted. That, they say that it takes 7 to 11 touch points for someone to trust you. And sometimes it'll be more, sometimes it's less, but it's really, and I guess that's where the community and what I'm excited about for 2026 is knowing what I know and sort of like dabbling in it here and there and not being as strategic as I should have been. The lessons learned is, what can I do now? Because that's what we're going to do is like, okay, let's start from now. We've made mistakes, we'll learn from them, but how can we move forward from here?
For sure. I love the top of funnel. You on Instagram, it's eye candy. Let's grab their attention. That's like job of the top of funnel. Like, let's just get their attention. Then you can keep them into your ecosystem with the value. It's like, oh, Marianne has something here for me. This matters. This is relatable now. It's not just the millions of views on this amazing Post-it note strategy that you have, but it's here's how it applies to my life. And now I'm in, and now I'm curious, and now I'm seeing other people like me here as well. And then when you say you bring people into an email list using a lead magnet, can you share some specifics on what kinds of lead magnets are working really well for you and how you get them from Instagram or other platforms to an email list?
Yeah, so I've created through my own planning journey, planner inserts, PDFs and downloadable that I created for myself, not even thinking that anyone would use them, because there's, of course, so many different planners, books, notebooks, diaries, journals that's already out there. So I just created what was working for me. And so, of course, when I showed it, would you get that? And that's how really the business side of the content creation came into. And so throughout that, I would make things along the way that I think others might find this useful, and from my own learning that it is important to have a value system. You give me your email, I'll give you something back. So I've given what I call the Calm and Clear Starter Kit, where it's just a guide to how to do a brain dump, how to categorize your thoughts into a way that will look at things that matter right now. So there's value in it. I mean, of course, others create lists and all that, but there's something that they can use. And the thing is, I have videos on YouTube that show you how to use it. So then there's that synergy between, it's not just here you go, on your own now, work it out yourself. It's use this, come over to my monthly brain dump session where we will go through it. And then that way, it's not just what's in front of them, but it's also seeing other people in the chat and the community, learning as we go and having a good old time. I liken my live streams as if we're just in front of each other at my dining table or a cafe, just chin wagging, Did you guys use that in US? Chin wagging is chatting away.
Oh, no, we don't use that phrase, but I like it though.
Yeah, chin wagging. So I've narrowed it down to that one hero lead magnet. And so there's a couple of things in there, self-care bingo card that, for ideas on what to do to help look after yourself. And through that, I do a nice welcome email sequence. So again, it's not just a here you go, goodbye, or come over to my live stream. Is then I carry them through a little bit of a journey to reduce the gap, as they say, of if they're all cluttered right now, how can I make sure and how can you help yourself to ease that clutter? And it's not just a one-off value is I move them through a welcome. Hey, I'm over here as well. You can buy my other printables, join me on YouTube or, join me on Instagram. And so continuing the relationship, not just a one-off give and take, is really important for my email.
Are you on social media telling people to click a link in the bio? Like technically, how are you getting them to give you their email address?
So now I have a automatic DM. So I use Content Creator Machine, which is, I think, they use Go High Level. It's their own branding. So from Anthony Gallo, Content Creator Machine. But yeah, they use the Go High Level. I think you've mentioned that in the past. So yeah.
Yep.
So there is information DM there. So comment the word this and I'll send you the link or the email, which I also use for affiliate links on the stationery that I showcase
Perfect.
on my Instagram.
That's wonderful. I love the fact that you kind of just naturally talk about these things and then people who are curious can more easily get involved with them. Is the live strategy for people who are on your email list and it's a way to connect with them more, or are those lives just for customers only? And how often are you doing that?
So I'm happy to say that I went live in 2025 154 times.
Wow.
So I have a weekly Plan With Me session. So while I'm setting up my beautiful planner spread, come along. So I get new followers through there. Of course, I ask them, the call to action, like and share any other. I call my community members plannerettes.
Oh, cute.
So whether we're seasoned planners, new to planning, or stuck in a rut, we're all learning from each other. And so through my live stream, it's not just for those who've already followed me, because they find me, of course, with
they find you there too. So is this on YouTube or Instagram? Where are you streaming to?
YouTube. So YouTube, and then once a month I have my first Sunday, my Sunday here in Sydney, Australia, brain dump session where it's an hour and a half. I go through how I do my brain dump and then, of course, let them know if this is something I get value from. I'm always here every month, and then I've just started YouTube membership as well.
Cool.
So that's part of the strategy for 2026 in growing more income stream.
Yeah, amazing. Every single week, I'm here in this chair broadcasting and streaming in front of thousands of people. There's only one tool that I would trust to be able to do this reliably, and that is Ecamm Live. I've been with them for over a decade. And whether you're recording courses, going live, running webinars, or building your YouTube channel, Ecamm gives you everything you need. Multicam, switching, professional overlays, and direct streaming to any platform, all designed exclusively for Mac. And here's what I love most. There is no complicated setup, no headaches, just studio quality video that looks professional and feels like you. It's professional video production for your Mac at a price that makes sense for creators building real businesses. When I'm focused on delivering value to my audience, the last thing I want to worry about is whether my tech is going to cooperate. Ecamm just works. And they have a special offer just for SPI podcast listeners. You can get 15% off your first payment with promo code SPI15. Head to ecamm.com/SPI. That's ECAMM.com/SPI. What tools are you using to go live? And was that hard for you at first to kind of muster up the courage to do that?
Yes. I think I am a natural performer anyway. Well, I mean, a lot of Filipinos sing.
Oh, yeah.
And so in my heyday, at school choir, singing, karaoke. And so I already have the ability to be in front. But when you're talking to a camera, it is still nerve-wracking. I always have the butterflies each and every time. That's always going to be there. And I use that.
Still?
But I use that as not nerves, more excitement. Like I'm excited. I wonder how this will go, because we all know with live happens, the things will happen.
Yeah.
If it'll go wrong, it will go wrong. First time I did it, I didn't know about echo cancellation, so I heard myself loop, and I was like, it was getting louder and louder. My hair was stuck to my forehead because I was like sweating. That live is still on YouTube. I haven't taken it down because it's a mark of me doing it, even though I did it scared, I did everything wrong. I ended the live, I went back quickly, set up another broadcast, and I went and did it, and my voice was so shaky. It's one of those things you got to pull the Band-Aid. So if you're scared, do it scared. And a lot of the times, no one's probably watching for that first few live streams of yours anyway.
That's true.
But yeah, so I've used 2 different live stream platforms. So originally it was StreamYard. And then when I upgraded my computer to a Mac, the Ecamm live software, which has really been really helpful because you set up the beautiful background and the community as well there is pretty good to help as well.
Yeah. The Ecamm team is great. I've used Ecamm, every week for the last 5 years for my live streams. One of the big challenges I had with lives at first was there's all the tech stuff and you're live and it's like what to say, but then there's also the audience there. And like if you don't reference them or engage with them, it might not seem like there's a connection there. What are some things that you do to make people watching feel like they're there with you or a part of the community versus just kind of a fly on a wall?
Yeah, so I say to them, look, help me feel like I'm not alone. If you're here live, don't be shy. So let me know where you're tuning in from. Then I tell them I'm here in Sydney, Australia. So your normal opening banter, where you from? What's the weather like? What are your wins this week? How are you going? Because that's the thing of, a lot of them will go, oh, I needed this today. I've had a hard week. And then the beautiful thing is while I'm doing my planning, the other members, members as in not paying members, but just part of the community that show up, help lift them up. So they feel seen and they feel heard. And so I'm always thinking, oh, thank you, Stephanie, for welcoming everyone. You see, everyone's really a warm bunch, so don't be shy. Type even a simple yes. Are we ready? Yes. And yes, it's the calling out, which is so important because I know I've been in live streams before and it's like, oh, my comment is next, my chat is next, and then I get skipped and it's like, oh, why didn't I get mentioned? And so just seeing your name pop up on the screen, it's that being seen. Again, it's, that I'm important enough for you to pop my comment on the screen. Some people are like, fangirling. I'm like, oh, me? I'm just a small channel. But it's like, oh my God, Mariane mentioned my name. It's not about that a big, YouTuber has mentioned your name. I think it's just a lot of us, especially my audience, can feel isolated. We think we're doing it alone, whatever challenges we have. And because I have, different women in different journeys of their life, it's just being seen. It's just like, I think it takes you back to your high school days, that, oh, the popular person, said hello to me and I'm not just a fly on the wall. That's how I engage those in the live community. And of course, as well, I say those of you watching in replay, I love reading your comments as well. So it keeps me company throughout the week when I'm not on. And so people are going, team replay, watching on replay. I was busy this week, but I'm here watching it now. So it makes you feel like you are part of a team and a community.
I love that. It's everything you said you're excited about and you're doing it, which is wonderful. Now, I know that as somebody who also goes live quite a bit, that you can get some trolls and some not so nice people in there. Have you experienced that? And what are the kinds of things you've done to get over those tough feelings of people saying nasty things? Or, do you have mods? What's your setup like for combating that kind of stuff?
It's so funny. Sometimes I go, aren't I important enough or big enough for trolls to troll me? I'll have one or two, one time it'll be a race comment. And so I went ban, because on Ecamm you can ban or you time out people. I know even on Instagram, not so much trolls. It's more like things like, why would you do that? And I was like, well, you don't have to. I'm showing others who want to do it. I think I don't allow it. So I don't entertain it so I'll either just delete, or if it's a constructive criticism, I'll say, well, thank you for your point of view. But I think what I've learned from the beginning is because I think I have to nurture and keep my own mental well-being safe is if it angers me, straight away I'll delete it. And I think what that has done is you don't see it in my comments, you don't see it in the content. So there's no room for it. And so if anyone does troll, and some of them sometimes I will just let it sit there, my community backs me up even before I have a chance because I'm on a different time zone. And it's just like, well, if you don't like it, you can ignore this video. So I have people who are cheering me on. But it's like I say to people, because of course I have content creator friends who are sometimes afraid to go live or post. What if they don't like me? It's like, you can delete it. You would not allow someone in your house with muddy shoes. So you would either say, can you please take off your muddy shoes at the door? Or no, I don't allow that in my house.
Or if you're Filipino like us, just no shoes.
No
You have
shoes,
to take
that's
your shoes
right.
off at
Yes,
the door.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. But yeah, I don't allow it. And if it is in there, one of the things is, I've done this before, so now I'm trying to learn from it, is don't reply angry, or don't reply in that moment when you know your blood is reaches to your, and your ears start to burn because you're ready to reply. Well, don't do that. Let it sit there, or as I said, just delete it or look at it a little bit later. You sort of got to, have to build a backbone for that. I know it's
Yeah.
because the more you grow, which means your content are going to get shown to people who aren't your followers at the beginning. So it'll get shown to someone who does not like planning or who doesn't like, whatever you're showing. It's a good thing, but it also welcomes, as you said, comments that may not be positive or desirable. There are accounts that entertain it. That's their content, which is people do go straight to the comments. Ooh, what's the goss in the comments, right? So,
Right.
but for my channel, I don't allow it, probably because I am mentally, I'm not ready for that kind of thing. And I don't
Yeah.
want it. I talk about positivity and looking for the wins and being grateful. So I try and keep my space safe for myself and others.
Yeah, it's almost like how you are planning and organizing your time. You have to plan and organize your mental bandwidth and where your attention goes, and you're kind of exemplifying that in those actions. I once was told that every second you waste on a hater or a troll is a second you're taking away from the community of people who care for you, who support you, and it's not fair to them for you to focus your time and energy on something that is somebody you would never want to serve anyway or doesn't want to be served by you. So that is what has helped me. And before we finish up here, Mariane, I do want to go back into, if you were to think about your content journey and at the very, very start, what was that like for you? What was your motivation to begin going down this road? And what was your mindset like as you were leaning into that?
As I said from the beginning, make sure you are sharing something that either you know a lot about, so you can either be an expert, you can be someone who just enjoys the things that you're going to share, so have a passion for it and have something that you can maintain even on the hard days. So that it's something you can, well, not easily do, but there's something that can carry you forward. So if you're going to talk about something that you have no passion about, it is going to be a chore. There's already going to be lots of things that you're going to do, either just as a side hustle content creator, or if you're building a business out of it. That's going to be the normal, boring, day-to-day business stuff, content creation stuff. You know how they talk about you got to put in the reps. You're not going to get a nice ab only after doing 100 sit-ups. You got to keep doing it. And it's not the sexiest or glamorous of things to be doing the same things over and over again. So make sure you have that it lights you up, because then that will resonate to someone who's watching you, and then they will feel it. And then the thing is, one of the lessons I've learned is I had paralysis analysis at the beginning when I was trying to grow it as a business. I had to learn everything. How do we do this? I want to have the nice font colors and a branding and all this stuff. And then now I want to open, my own website. And then I also want to be able to do this and an email. And then so it's just overload. Do one little thing at a time and do it imperfect. So it doesn't have to be perfect right now. The good thing when you take action is actually you learn from the things that you make. And not being paid for this, everybody, but I do have your book,
Hey, let's go. Thank you.
The Lean Learning, where I have learned that what do I need to learn now? Okay, at the moment I have a problem with something. Okay, mic, camera, why aren't I getting views? Why didn't this work? Learn that. And then take action. and then learn again, and then take action. So I love using analogies in my content. It's like the all you can eat. I think back in the 90s, did you guys have Sizzler? We had Sizzler.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Oh, yes.
And you just like, I remember, my dad was like, would put everything on one plate. And I said, Dad, you can go back. You can come back again and again. You don't have, it's not just a whatever you fit on your plate, that's it. And then that's my thinking now is, if you do this, go there, take a bite, eat it. Oh, I like that. Can we go again? Or I don't like that. Let's try something else. So learn as you go. But the most important thing is take action. You'll see a lot of big content creators that went, it took me 10 years to get started. I wish I started sooner. And so for anyone new up and coming, that's why the 30-day short form video is good, because it's just like, just start. No one's probably watching, but you don't know. What if that next video is the one that will like hit the right audience or get sent at the right time to the right people? You won't know until you do it and take action. Small, actionable, doable action.
Imperfect action. Yeah. I love that. That's such an important message, as a lot of people here who are inspired to get started, whether it's through the challenge or through our example here on the podcast. Just get going. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? My phrase is, I'd rather live a life full of oh wells than a life full of what ifs. Because what if you're 20 years down the road, you wonder what would have happened if you started your short form video 20 years ago? What could have happened? You'll never know if you don't try.
And the people you meet as well, and the opportunities that open up, not every avenue that you go to will, be fruitful, but at least, okay, well, that way didn't work for now, because I've created cohorts, courses, opened, memberships and communities that didn't work, but not that it didn't work, because I'm not good at it, but at the time. So timing is also important, but you won't know unless you try. So next time you'll go, that didn't work last year, but I'm in a better position this year, or I have now the skills to do it better. And so let me try again. But you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from what you've learned last time you tried it, and maybe it wasn't as fruitful.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Mariane. I appreciate you. Where can people go to follow your work and find your stuff?
Well, my name's Mariane Cresp, and so my handle at Mariane Cresp on Instagram, on YouTube. I do have my shop, mariannecresp.com, for my planner insert printables. Really, you can just find me in the comments and in the DMs, or just say hello anytime you see me pop up anywhere nowadays. And then, of course, I do have started my Between the Pages with Mariane podcast. They're only short stints, but that's the thing again. It doesn't have to be what everyone else is doing. They're 5-8 minutes, little blurbs that you might need right in that moment. So Between the Pages on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcast as well. I'm there.
Amazing. We'll put all the links in the show notes for everybody. But Mariane, thank you again so much. You are an inspiration. Keep up the great work and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rupert.
All right, wasn't that awesome? I hope you enjoyed that interview with Mariane Cresp, MarianeCresp. Find her on Instagram, YouTube, join her on lives, and you could see how she does it. Thank you to Mariane. Thank you for watching and or listening to this. And make sure you hit that subscribe and follow button so you can get more interviews like this coming your way very soon. And again, a special shout out to Ecamm Live, a tool that I use every week. Mariane uses it as well. smartpassiveincome.com/Ecamm Live if you want to get involved with that. The easiest tool to use to stream wherever you want to stream. So go check it out. Before you go, I've been using Ecamm Live for over a decade because it's the only tool I trust for reliable streaming and recording. Whether you're launching a YouTube channel, coaching clients, or building your online business, Ecamm gives you the tools to look professional without the production team. No complicated setup, no headaches. Get 15% off your first payment with promo code SPI15 at ecamm.com/SPI. That's ECAMM.com/SPI. Promo code SPI15.